KTRS.
They want to impeach the Ellisville mayor, Adam Paul, but his attorney, Chet Pleban, says not so fast. He has obtained documents that reveal some interesting things, and we apologize for being so convoluted, but that's the way it is. Attorney Chet Pleban, you're with us for segment number 2. Now, let's explain this. You have documents saying that Paul Martin and Matt Perillo discussed the complaint of Katie James 3 days before Katie James filed her official complaint, and that complaint is what they're using to impeach Adam Paul.
Correct. The timeline is February 8th. There's the memo from Paul to Perillo, or Martin to Perillo, rather, that outlines what's going to happen with the Katie James complaint. Then they're picking prosecutors on the who's the prosecutor on the 9th, and they talk about on the 10th who might be an appropriate prosecutor for this particular issue.
And then on the 11th, she gets around to then filing the complaint they've discussed in these emails.
Correct. And those are 2 allegations that we talked about, kicking her out of a meeting apparently back 9 months before, Katie James, that is, and then a couple on February 6th asking the chief to remove an individual who was disrupting a meeting.
Now, you also found an email that says, and I want you to read it to me or paraphrase it, that says, now that Adam Paul has hired Chet Pleban, we have to come up with more reasons to impeach the guy.
Correct. There's an email. See, this whole thing, the whole idea was we'll recruit Katie James. We'll take it off the council. We're going to go out and we'll get somebody who's not on the council at the time because otherwise there's going to be a public outcry if one of our members, current members, do this. And so they recruit Katie James. It's going to be short, sweet, to the point. We're going to have 2 allegations, bring the guilty guy in so we can give him his fair trial, and then get him on down the road, okay? So it was going to be lickety-split, simple issues, okay? Well, and I'm thinking that they probably thought that Adam may resign rather than go through all this nonsense.
Right.
And so, but the bottom line was that was derailed because now I have another memorandum in which this is dated February 17th, 2013. The Charter Enforcement Commission hearing was going to be the next day, February 18th, okay? This is 5/18. This is from Paul Martin, the city attorney, to now all the council members. All the council members are on this. And it says CEC members, : in that the mayor is now represented by Chet Pleban, an experienced and formidable adversary. We have to assume that he will challenge any possible impeachment by the council in court. All right. So then he goes on to say he doesn't think that that these 2 issues that he himself has drafted, all right, for Katie James' signature, he doesn't believe that is enough for a court to uphold an impeachment decision by the council. All right. So, now remember, he drafted this. All right.
So you have a memo from the city attorney Paul Martin that says that the allegations that I came up with are not going to be enough now that he has Chet Pleban, who is representing him.
I'll read you here's a quote. Here's exactly what he said. In that the mayor is now represented by Chet Pleban, an experienced and formidable adversary, we have to assume that he will challenge any possible impeachment by the council in court. While the evidence substantiates that the mayor ordered the POs, police officers, I guess, to remove the residents, the real question for me, at least, is whether these 2 isolated instances, one at the very beginning of his term and one very recent, are enough for a court to uphold an impeachment decision by the council. And he goes on to reason that no, probably not.
We should say that we continue to ask and beg anybody from the city council to come on the show, but our phone calls are met with no answer, and thank you very much. We will get back to you, never to be heard from again. So
well, I can tell you why that is, because I've got another email here. This is from, from Paul Martin again. In light of the Post-Dispatch article this morning, I thought it appropriate to remind everyone that if this effort moves forward, you will likely be a witness to our judge of the proceedings. Moreover, there are rules governing the manner in which the parties may conduct discovery or investigations concerning the charges. I urge everyone to avoid commenting on the matter for the time being to the public, the press, or Mayor Paul's legal representatives.
Except in a deposition.
So, yeah. In the meantime, you can easily decline press comments due to the pending nature of the proceedings and for council members due to the fact that the council will be the judge of the charges at the hearing.
This is also the same council
Now, that's Judge Perillo, by the way.
This is the same council that hired KC Communications at $400 an hour.
$400 an hour. Yeah, I think they hired him after they put out this memo, though. I don't know.
Okay. Do we know how much? Do we know how much money they are spending trying to impeach the mayor? Do we have any idea?
Well, I know this. I know that they're paying the hearing officer $200 an hour. I know that they're paying the prosecutor $200 an hour. There's another lawyer in the prosecutor's office that they're paying $200 an hour, and I don't know who else in the prosecutor's office is doing work. They pay Martin, and I don't know. Martin says he's not billing for this, but I don't know whether he is or he isn't. And they're paying him, I don't know, $150 or $200 an hour. And then they're paying the PR firm, collectively, I guess, $400 an hour. So you add it up. What's that? $1,200, $1,300 an hour.
So the moral of the story is better to become a PR agency than a lawyer.
I'm guessing that. Yeah, I'm guessing that. Just don't be a mayor in Ellisville.
Matt Perillo, as you mentioned earlier, hired an attorney to fight a recall effort by the residents of Ellisville.
Yeah, that was back in August. He filed a lawsuit in August the 28th, 2012, and he sued the people, the petitioners, the folks, the residents who sought his recall, and he sued the city of Ellisville. The city of Ellisville was represented by Paul Martin. Prior to Perillo filing this lawsuit, Martin had rendered a legal opinion that the charter provision regarding recalls of elected officials was unconstitutionally vague and therefore void.
And then sat in judgment of this.
Well, he provided this to Perillo before Perillo filed his suit. So
Gotcha.
Perillo files his suit armed with that legal opinion. And there's more to that. Armed with that legal opinion, and Martin winds up representing the city of Ellisville. Well, of course, the ruling is that it's unconstitutionally vague.
So the people of Ellisville tried to recall the city council members, couldn't do it, was shot down.
Right. Now, Perillo,
Matt Perillo, let me ask you this question. Who did Matt Perillo hire for this? Or who was his attorney?
A fellow by the name of Dan Bruntrager.
Do we know who paid his legal fee?
Yeah. What happened was, well, Paul Martin, okay, I don't know who paid Bruntrager's legal fees, but I have billing statements from Paul Martin to the city of Ellisville. What he did during all this process was he carved out the time that he spent on the recall petition, on the petition defending the city of Ellisville. Mm-hmm. And there's one bill for $2,400, another bill for $5,000, whatever the total was. And according to Paul Martin, he believes that Sansone, the developer of the Walmart and the TIF-related issues, paid the city's bill on the recall of Matt Perillo.
So the Sansone paid the legal fees for the city to defend a city council member's right not to be recalled.
Correct. According to Martin's belief is what he testified in the deposition.
Correct. He told you that he believes Sansone.
He believes the Sansone.
And Sansone is the developer who's going to build the development in which Walmart is going to reside.
Correct.
Okay. That's Chet Pleban. We're done here, but just to recap, Paul Martin and Matt Perillo traded emails back and forth 3 days before Katie James officially filed her complaint.
Oh yeah, they picked the prosecutor. They picked everybody.
Once the complaint was filed, they then realized, or Adam Paul then hired you. They realized, wait a minute, you have emails that say the charges we initially brought are not going to work now that he's hired Chet Pleban.
Correct.
So they went and trumped up a whole bunch of other charges, which some have since been fallen by the wayside. Correct. And now we know that the city of Ellisville paid, paid back Sansone monies to.
Sansone paid the city.
Sansone paid the city to defend city council members from being recalled by the citizens.
Correct. And on the recall issue, remember, Martin gives a legal opinion that the charter provisions are unconstitutionally vague and therefore you can't recall anybody.
Right.
They solicited, they being the city, Martin solicited another opinion on that very issue about the unconstitutionality of the recall. And guess who he solicited?
Who's that?
His old law firm, who happens to be Keith Chung's firm.
Of course he does. Of course he does. Holy
Does that
mackerel.
shock you?
All right, you're off to more depositions.
I'm off to more depots, yes. this afternoon.
Monday's the trial, right?
Monday is 6 o'clock. I don't know where it's going to be held yet because apparently they're not sharing that information with us just yet. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure you'll be on between now and then, so stay tuned.
All right.
That's Chet Pleban, 940 here on the Big 550 KTRS. After all this, I need to go to the bathroom. How about R&R Sanitation Porta Potty? That's where all this needs to go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we call a transition in the business. Chet Pleban is speechless at how brilliant that transition really is. No job too big, no job too small. Whether you're planning to impeach a mayor and you're having